Lately, there have been very little news about FastHTML in the media, but work on that platform has not gone stale. No. Plenty is happening in the repositories. And here are some news on FastHTML as of August 25. First, let's talk about a feature that increases your user experience of your SaaS. As an example, you make a service that uses a web interface that takes quite a long time to finish. Let's use generating an image with the AI as an example of this. So when a user pushes the button to create something on your UI, do you wait for the slow API to return before you can do anything on the UI? Or do you just inform the user that something is cooking and he is free to do anything else with the user interface? And then, when the slow action is done, you just inform the user that it is done. Which of these do you choose? Of course, you want the second one. Immediately releasing the UI while the lengthy request is cooking in the background. This mechanic is called a background task, and that has been available in FastHTML since the 29th of May this year. Let's look at what code is needed. First, we look at the imports. Here we can see the FastHTML as usual, and then we need to import the background task from Starlet background, at least for now. The rest is just what I use to use the code. And then let's look at the home page for this one. We have a button that calls a very slow service that is calling the submit function. We also have a list of 2 items or 2 timestamps. This one we use HTMX to update every 5 seconds. The submit task that is called when we press the button is first taking the timestamp of the time when the button was pressed, and then it calls this background task, which takes about 3 or 5 seconds to run. And finally, this submit returns the string that notifies you that the user interface is already working. We put a string in the target res. And then we have this show the result function that is called every 5 seconds. It looks at a global variable timestamps that contains both the time when this task started and when it was finished. And then it presents those into a list. What I haven't shown in this code is what the actual task that is sent to the background. It is this one, task submit. What it actually does, it takes a timestamp and then it sleeps for 3 seconds and then takes another timestamp and updates this global TS timestamps variable. So it's quite a simple code, but it shows that you can have something running in the background while the user interface is free to work. Other examples that uses this could be long database queries or searches. You can use long time AI workflows, test workflows, or anything else that takes a long time. So, background tasks, letting you release the user interface while the result is worked on in the background. Want regular inspiration for your FastHTML projects? Do subscribe for inspiration. Next use is a small feature that is small, but actually quite efficient. Before now, you had to set the page title for each and every page that your application used. Not that much work, but yet another thing to remember. Do you remember? Now, you can set a default title to all the pages that belongs to your application. And you do that with a title argument to the FastApp application creation call. Here is the code showing the old way of doing this. When you set up a page, you need a specific title call. Notice that here I set the title to FastHTML SAS. And here is what the page looks like. And do note that we have the page title here, FastHTML SAS. And here we have example of the code using the new one. In this case, in the FastApp call, I have a title set to a string. In this case, I'm using the other string called @drapnedata. And also, another difference is that when we return the page, we only give the content, not the title. And this is what the new page looks like. And as you guessed, the title is now set to drapnedata. So default page title settings. Available since the 29th of May, a small change, but it makes it even faster to write FastHTML apps. Finally, a tool that provides a glimpse of information to your users. As our first example made clear, it might be interesting to show to the user that something has finished a background task, or even failed. And for that, we can use toasts or messages. I will call it toasts for this time. And toasts are small colored boxes with some text information in them. And they vanish after default 10 seconds. And here is an example of all 4 types available. It's information, success, warning, and error. And here is the code to generate them. After defining your application, you call setup toasts for this application, and you can change the duration that they are shown. In this case, I changed from default duration of 10 seconds to a duration of 5 seconds. It's up to you. And as we can see in the home page here, I add a toast down here. It says toast is being cooked and it is of type info. This was the one you have first shown. We also have a button that calls a function toasting. This one adds all 4 versions that we had. The info, the success, the warning, and the error. And this was the second image you saw. Now, this feature has been available since April 6th, but there seems to still be a bit of bugs around it. Not totally stable. If I, for instance, remove this add toast in the home page, I won't get any toasts at all from this application. Explain that one to me. So maybe toasts are not 100% safe yet. But there we have it. Toasts. At least a way to give your users some timely information that they might need. Now, I do hope that these pieces of news inspired some thoughts on what you might want to do with a FastHTML application. Leave a comment below on what you are thinking about. So the development of the FastHTML platform is steaming ahead. I'll be back later with some more FastHTML updates, news, and hopefully some inspiration as well. Until then, keep coding.